Welcome to Dark Docent. My name is Jake. Join me as I guide my friend James down the paranormal rabbit hole, attempting to prove the authenticity of a new case each week. Today's case, Robert the Doll.
How are you doing today, Jake?
Switching up! I'm not bad today.
Well, that's why I asked to restart, is because I wanted to get it in there first, and you were too fast with it.
You know what's weird? Is I had a feeling today that you were going to do that.
And is that why you hopped in right away so I couldn't?
No, I just had a feeling that I was like, I feel like James is going to jump in first today. I don't know why. I had a feeling. But I am not bad, sir.
Not bad.
Getting back into the swing of things after the honeymoon. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Still back in the swing of things, I guess, because I still have to work every day.
Fair enough. You look as haggard as ever.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And here I thought I was all spiffed up with my hair today.
You do look nice with your hair today.
Gotten the slightly buttoned shirt, the glasses that I immediately took off my face.
You got a school picture vibe with you today. Well, I'm doing good, James, but I have a picadillo with the audience.
Could you please describe a picadillo for me?
A picadillo is a Namekian character from the show Dragon Ball Z. Never mind.
I don't think that's it.
A picadillo is a Latin American dish and Spanish dish of seasoned ground meat, often mixed with vegetables, raisins, and olives. So it's not what I meant, but what I meant was I've got a bone to pick with the audience.
Already.
I want to confirm something, James. When you come to this table,
Yeah.
and we're going to do a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
do you know anything about what we're doing that day at all?
Literally nothing.
You come in, you have no idea what we're going to do, and then I tell you the story, and you are reacting live, correct?
Correct. None of my questions are written down. I have nothing except a root beer in front of me right now and a microphone.
And how much of our podcast is scripted?
The first episode on your side.
The very first episode on my side, and I write down bullet point notes, and also the very end, I just write down what I need to remember for the outro. So about 95% of it probably is not scripted.
I'd say so.
So, you heard it here first. No, James knows nothing.
Well, we did the Polybius episode. I didn't even know we were doing conspiracies.
Yeah, that was genuine. So people actually still are like, how much does James know before the thing? Or James has to know a bit about this. Or, does James really know nothing? Because, he comes into it with questions. I said, no, he literally knows nothing. And I just tell him when we're doing the podcast and he shows up. So that's all I wanted to bring up. However, I wanted to let you know that we're going to be doing a bit of a theme this month.
Bigfoot?
No. It's one of my favorite times of the year, buddy.
Spooky season?
Spooky season! You got it. So I was looking for more spooky cases. Stuff that really sends chills and shivers up people's spines. So I found one. This one, amongst the paranormal community, is a pretty popular one. And it's one that I was actually scared to do. And I'm still kind of scared that we're going to do it.
Well, I know how you feel about snakes.
Nothing to do with snakes. I have a story for you. We are in Key West, Florida, 1909. We are at the home of the Otto family. The Otto family are a well-known rich family in the Key West community. They actually have a really unique-looking house. Kind of looks like the house from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends a bit. Now, in this family, they have a son named Robert. One day, Robert's grandfather comes home from a trip to Europe, and he has a gift for young Robert. He gives the gift to Robert, and it's a 3.5-foot tall doll. Robert instantly loves this doll. So much so that he gives it a name. Robert. And he plays around with it all day long, and he even gave it his clothes. He dressed him up in a sailor outfit. Robert has a strange relationship with this doll. And his parents are kind of noticing it. His parents kind of asked him after a little while, "Why did you name it Robert? Your name's Robert." Robert said, "Because the doll wanted my name, and we weren't allowed to share it." From then on, Robert went by his middle name, Eugene. So from now on, I'm going to be saying Gene Otto or Eugene Otto as the son, and Robert is the doll.
Okay.
As the relationship between Robert and Eugene grew, accidents began to happen around the house. Broken vases, spilled glasses, messes around the house, things all like that. And every time the parents confronted Gene about it, he said, quote, "Robert did it." And this got a little annoying. As we brought up before, kids love to lie. That is a known fact. But the messes were getting pretty extreme, even for a kid. Things were getting thrown all over the room. One day, Eugene's parents hear him talking. He's playing in his bedroom with Robert. As he's talking, though, they hear something they didn't expect. A deep, guttural reply. Now they think a stranger is in Eugene's room. They whip the door open. It's just Eugene and Robert. Things started to get a little more extreme. Eugene began to claim that Robert was moving in the night, and he would get closer and closer to him from the rocking chair in the corner of his bedroom to his bed as the night went on. Sometimes he'd wake up, and Robert would be sitting upright at the edge of his bed, staring at Eugene. This all came to a head one night when the Ottos were asleep. They heard a loud bang, crashing, followed by Eugene screaming bloody murder. Parents instantly get up, run down to Eugene's room. They whip the door open, and they see an incredible sight. All the furniture in Eugene's room has been flipped and thrown across the room. Dressers, rocking chairs, all of it just thrown about. Eugene is cowering under his blankets. Robert is sitting calmly on the edge of his bed, staring at the door. The parents ask, "What happened?" And in a quivering, quiet voice, Eugene replied, "Robert did it." James, have you heard of Robert the doll?
I don't think I have.
Have you ever heard of any possessed doll before?
I think that's most of them, isn't it?
Yes, probably.
Anything that was made before Beanie Babies or Cabbage Patch Kids, I think, was a possessed doll.
Honestly, kind of a good thing to live by.
Anything with porcelain on it, especially.
I don't even know if this doll has porcelain on it. This is a weird looking doll, and I got a picture for you.
I would be extremely disappointed if you didn't.
Robert is 3.5 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
He's got very quote unquote lifelike hair. And he's got black, beady eyes. And he's adorned in a sailor suit. The same one that Eugene gifted him over 117 years ago. Here is a picture of Robert the doll.
Not quite what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
Well, I was expecting more like the classic. Yeah, I know he said there wasn't really any porcelain on it, but I was kind of expecting that style of creepy doll. This looks more like it's made of cork or sponge.
Yeah, it's like a weird corky substance, and apparently it's filled with straw to be its filling. It's a weird doll. I've never seen a doll like it. Very strange.
Yeah. I like the little stuffed puppy with it, though. Does that have a name?
It does not have a name, but apparently Robert really likes it. And we'll get into that later.
Can't wait.
An actual interesting thing about Robert the doll, as I've gone over before, he's actually pretty famous. So much so that the movie Child's Play based Chucky off of Robert.
I assume there's been a few things based off of it. Haunted dolls aren't exactly a rare thing to have stories about.
They are not. There's other haunted dolls. Annabelle is a very popular haunted doll.
Chucky was, of course, my first thought when you brought it up.
Yeah, Chucky is mostly based on Robert. Like Chucky, Robert has a bit of a mean streak with him. And we'll get into all of the people who have gone through all the hauntings with him, the strange things that have occurred around Robert, and even a few of the victims.
A few of the victims.
A few of the victims. After this event with Robert and the flipping of the furniture, the parents decided, okay, Eugene, I think you've had enough time with Robert. I think it's time to put Robert away.
Yeah, time to put the Game Boy down and go outside for a bit.
They took Robert away, and they locked him up in the attic. They eventually gave him back, but the activity never really ceased. And slowly, over time, it got worse. Robert didn't like to get disrespected, and he didn't like getting locked away. Another thing that Robert didn't like? Eugene's attention somewhere else. Gene's parents began finding their son's toys broken and torn to bits, almost mutilated, all across living room floors, toy room floors, all of his favorite toys.
Kind of reminds me of a different doll from Saw.
A little bit. Huh?
Jigsaw, I believe his name was.
Jigsaw, yeah. They confronted Gene about this. Why are you breaking all your toys? And he sadly stated with tears in his eyes, Robert did it. Robert was apparently jealous of the other toys, and of course the parents didn't necessarily believe this. But some of these toys that were broken were some of Robert's favorite toys, and he was genuinely sad that they were broken, and he was in tears and distraught about it. But the activity wasn't just limited to Gene's experiences. Around the house, the parents started to hear whispers, footsteps, giggling. They also reported that Robert would move to different locations around the house when nobody was around. They would place him like in a chair with no one else home, and his mother would come around somewhere else and he would be in a completely different location. Another thing people noticed is if anyone started talking bad about Gene, the face of Robert almost changed a little, looking distraught or angry at whoever was talking about him. Also, apparently, it looked like the doll would sometimes follow the conversations. The head might tilt, or it would look at you very weird. It felt like something was within this doll reacting to you. Well, eventually they had enough, and they locked him in the attic for good. And that was it. They don't want Robert anymore. It's done. I know what you're probably thinking. 1, this is bullshit. 2, why is this doll haunted?
Maybe not in that exact order. Sir, you said his uncle gave it to him?
His grandfather.
Oh, his grandfather. What does he have to say about this?
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of different origin stories of how Robert came to be. The main and most realistic one is Robert was gifted by the grandfather after he went to Europe, and he bought this doll and gave it to Eugene.
Probably bought it from a gypsy.
Here's the thing. This is where it kind of ties into what could happen. The Ottos were wealthy, as I brought up.
Mm-hmm.
And they had servants. Haitian servants. The story that goes around the internet and that everyone brings up is one of the Haitian servants got fired for practicing black magic on the premises. But before the nice lady left, she gifted a doll to young Eugene Otto. And that was Robert the doll. But she cursed it with voodoo. She marked it with blood, with bits of Robert's hair, and made a giant voodoo doll to curse the young man and his family. Here's why that's not true. I'm sorry to say it's not. Voodoo isn't actually like evil, like people think.
Could it be, though?
Maybe, but here's the thing, is the idea of voodoo dolls, they aren't like how they're depicted in shows. They aren't, stick a needle here, cause pain here, this will hurt them, this will control them, blah, 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 blah. Traditionally, voodoo dolls are actually used for healing. They would manifest you in the doll and then do things to the doll to help cure you. That's kind of how it works. A lot of the stereotypes of voodoo actually came from Western civilization encountering Haitians and different cultures they brought onto their farms and plantations as slaves or as workers or servants, and they witnessed it and saw it as a strange backwards thing and assumed it to be evil. Voodoo isn't actually as evil or bad as people think. Another thing, we know where Robert was built. He's not a Haitian thing. Robert was built by the Steiff Company. The Steiff Company is the company that made the modern day teddy bear. And there were other Robert the dolls. However, this one was one of a kind. And it was most likely a display model. Because the other Robert the dolls are like teddy bear size, small, under a foot tall. Maybe a foot tall.
Mhm.
And Robert is 3.5 feet tall, about the same size as Eugene, which makes it creepier. So they think that since the Ottos were pretty well off, the grandfather went to a store and just bought the biggest one for whatever hiked up price it was and brought it back for his grandson.
Well, I rescind my gypsy comment then.
That's okay.
Sorry to any gypsies listening.
So we kind of debunked that this was a Haitian voodoo doll. It wasn't that. It's a popular story, but it's not that.
It'd be a weird thing to document.
It would be. But here's a weird thing that is kind of documented. And this is where it kind of ties into why Robert could be haunted or possessed. Allegedly, there was an affair between Eugene's father and one of the servants. We kind of know about this because while the servant was working on the farm, she did have a child. However, the records of it either being born or being raised are not there. We also have diary entries of Eugene's mother talking about how she's worried of the way other women look at her husband, including that servant. People kind of think that something happened here. Something that muddies the waters a little bit more. The Ottos had a family plot. That servant was buried on the family plot. Eugene's mother refused. This little thing that ties that all kind of together a bit. Lots of people think that either this was an unborn child or the child was born and the father had it disposed. And maybe that child found an attachment to Eugene and possessed the doll.
I guess that's probably the most likely option.
Given the real story and not the Haitian voodoo story,
Right?
it would tie into why Robert could be possessed.
Yeah. Checks out.
But there are other theories, and we will get to them.
Perfect. When does the CIA get involved?
Not yet.
Not for another 50 years or so.
So, like every child, Jean grew up. And he eventually moved to France to pursue his career in being an artist. He actually went to art school, and he met his future wife, Annette Parker. Eventually, they get married. They move back to New York. That's where Eugene's career as an artist doesn't really get anywhere. But Annette was actually a prodigy pianist, and she had a very prominent career playing piano. So she actually made some money. Unfortunately, though, Eugene's family all fell on hard times, and they had lost all their money by this point because of the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people kind of tie that to Robert as well, because they disrespected.
Robert caused the Great Depression.
Robert's caused a lot of things. You just wait. Something you'll find out as we get into this. Robert hates to be disrespected.
Yep, you mentioned that.
The first people to disrespect him were Eugene's parents. They locked him away in an attic for years and years and years as punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Robert didn't like that. They were the first real victims of any sort of malevolence from Robert. In 1945, Jean's mom got sick. So Jean and Annette moved back home to Florida, and were going to take care of his mother until she passed. And soon after, she did, and the house was left to Eugene and Annette. So they decided, yeah, we can move in here. Let's live in. It's a nice house. I'll actually show you a picture of the house.
Sorry if you already said this, but did you say if the father had passed at this point?
I didn't say it, but the father had passed at this point. Here is what's known as the Artist House in Key West, Florida. Feast your eyes.
It definitely looks like a house that would be in Florida.
It does.
It's a nice house.
It looks a little weird to me. I think the big, like, almost turret on the left makes it look weird to me.
I'd call that an American castle.
Actually, that's a very good way to put it. A Victorian castle, if you
Victorian
will.
American castle.
So that's where they moved in. As they're cleaning things up, moving things around, Gene went into the attic and found a beloved toy from his childhood. Robert the doll.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Buzz Lightyear.
No, I'm sorry. I know. I kept you lying in wait.
Robert the doll.
Robert the doll. So he came down and showed his wife. Annette, look, this is my childhood doll, Robert. It's 3.5 feet tall with black beady eyes and a sailor suit that I dressed myself. I gave it my name because it wouldn't share.
It threw furniture across the room. Isn't it great?
It haunted my parents for years and might have caused the Great Depression.
Sorry, at this point, is he going by Robert again, or is he still Eugene?
He never goes by Robert again. The rest of his life, he goes by Eugene.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, finders keepers, I guess.
Well, Robert didn't want to share the name. He respected that. He showed his wife, all excited, and Annette openly hated the doll.
Reasonable.
She stated that the doll was creepy and didn't like how it looked. She also didn't like what it was doing to her husband. Gene started making little furniture for Robert to match Robert's size perfectly. He made him little dining sets, little kitchen, everything, and decided that he needed an entire room for himself. So Eugene gave him the attic. That turret that you see in that photo, that was Robert's room.
Turning his prison into a home.
Damn right. Now, strange things also started happening around the home. Annette started hearing whispers, stomping, loud footsteps, and every so often it sounded like there was a big avalanche going on in the attic, things being thrown around. She also heard childish giggling all through the house. Another weird thing that started happening is things started breaking. Vases, glasses, things spilling. When his wife would ask him what happened to the vases and the glasses and what happened with all the accidents around the house, Eugene brought back his old mantra. Robert did it. He's like 40-year-old man now.
I think. Okay, go on.
I knew this was going to be a hard one for you to get through.
So Robert did it.
Robert did it. That's the classic line from this. Actually, a lot of like stories and stuff like that will like use this as like a subtitle or like it's like a hook to get people in the story. Is Robert did it? It's something that's famous from this story.
Yeah.
Robert's wife did not like the doll around the house. So, sorry, Eugene's wife did not like the doll around the house.
Uh-oh.
I know I'm mixing them up. I can't do that. So Robert would put him up in the room. And he put him in a special spot in a rocking chair facing the window. So he'd have a nice view.
Eugene sounds like a psycho.
So the thing about Eugene is he was described as, quote, eccentric. At this time, he has become a fairly well-known artist in the Florida area. He actually has a prominent career at this point. And the house is now called the Artist House, which it is known as till this day. Yeah, eccentric is the word commonly used to describe Gene.
Well, what do we know about eccentric artists? They're all psychos.
Well, yes, I would say so. In a less extreme version of how you said it. But the weird thing is about this is it's not just Eugene experiencing this stuff. Other people around Eugene are experiencing Robert as well.
Please elaborate.
His mom was witnessing Robert moving around the house, hearing the footsteps, the giggling, whispers, and the voices.
I thought you were talking about like more people.
Oh, there will
like
be.
To come. Oh, there. Okay.
No, this does not end. People who have experienced Robert are in the tens of thousands.
All right, that's more than the Roswell incident.
That's more than all the people from the Roswell incident
and every other story we've done.
Story I've shown you so far.
How many people were on that boat?
Queen Mary?
Yeah.
I think it held 20,000 at one point, so not as much as Queen Mary. But I don't know how many of those people experienced ghosts. That was like during wartime. Episode 14, go check it out.
20,000 people on a boat? I don't think so.
The Queen Mary was the longest at its time. Yeah.
20,000 people.
They managed to fit it. It held a record. It might have been 10, but it might have been 20. It was between there. It was a record.
Fucking sleep.
My grandpa told me how cramped it was on that fucking boat.
He also said he put someone in a cheese bag and hung them at the front of the ship.
Yeah, he did put him in a cheese bag. That was something he did, yes. And I'm pretty sure now that I look back on it that was the boat he did it on. So it does line up with the chef story, though. That's the weird part. Anyway, not important. People started to recognize the doll. Not even people in the house. Because Robert didn't stay still. Robert wanted to get a closer view. And he would jump on the windowsill and stare at people as they walked past. People began changing their routes to school, to work, anywhere to avoid the house because Robert would go to the window and stare at them. And each time Jean said, I didn't put him at the window, I would put him at the chair. And each time he would go up to the attic and Robert would be at the windowsill. Eventually, Eugene brought Robert way further back from the windowsill. Like, he won't get anywhere near it. And sure enough, he went to check, and Robert's at the windowsill. People reported him moving around in the attic. And this coincides with reports from his wife saying that she heard things getting thrown around upstairs above them and stomping and moving and all that. So, people are freaked out by this thing.
I'd probably do the same thing. I wouldn't want to go on a nice morning walk and see beady-eyed Robert staring down at me.
Yeah, and he would be in the top turret, so he would be like in that window up there looking at people. Like, what the that's scary as shit. This was their life for the next 30 years.
Shout out to Annette for having the patience to put up with that, I suppose.
I feel like divorce was more taboo at the time.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of throw that thing into a fire or off the roof or in the garbage or in the ocean or in the mouth of an alligator.
I guess she did respect her husband quite a bit, at least.
There's an infinite amount of things you could do other than put up with that.
How would you feel if your wife or whatever, you came home and she had a doll and she said it did everything, destroying the house, and she would talk to it for hours on end?
I'd probably call the... What's the correct word for it? The psych ward?
I think you'd be
the
correct.
loony bin?
The nut house?
The nut house? The insane asylum?
Get her checked in at the rubber room at the puzzle factory?
I thought you were going to say a rubber room with rats.
No, not with rats. They make me crazy. Crazy? I went crazy once.
Well, hopefully I'm never put in that position where I have to be like, no, I don't think it was the doll. I think you smashed the vases and you owe me a new vase.
Brooke, I wanted to ask you something. If I had a toy doll and I was a 40-something-year-old man, and anytime a glass spilled or a vase broke or furniture got flipped over, or you heard voices and stomping around the house, and every time you confronted me about it, I said the doll did it, would you stay with me? This is the man version of would you love me if I was a worm?
I think I would think you're on meth.
Okay.
I'd probably put you in rehab, but I'd probably stay with you.
That's love.
Kind of what I said.
James said psych ward.
I went with meth.
That's love, ladies and gentlemen.
But neither of us said we'd get rid of the doll.
Neither of you said you'd get rid of the doll or me, actually, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you take me back.
Well, I'm not talking about... Oh, I wasn't talking about you.
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean, there would be progression steps to this. We start with meth or psych ward and rehab.
Mm.
And then progress to, okay, what the fuck is going on? Are you having a love affair? Is it actually a sex doll?
See, a sex doll is a new angle we haven't thought of yet.
Okay. Thank you, Brooke. In 1965, Gene was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And it was a battle that he fought for the next 10 years. During this, he spent more and more time secluded in his attic. To the points where sometimes Annette wouldn't see her husband for maybe a day or so, because he'd be up there talking to Robert. And she also apparently heard the guttural, deep replies, just like his parents did. Unfortunately, in 1974, Eugene died after his long battle with Parkinson's disease. Very quickly after this, Annette sold the house. When she did, she packed up all of her belongings, except for a doll, which she kept in a trunk and put it way up in the attic. After this, there was a few renters in the house, And then eventually a family bought the house called the Reuters. They moved in this beautiful house, the artist house. Looks like nothing else on the street. This is where things get a little fuzzy. Because there's two stories of what could have happened. Do you want the more extreme story first or the more...
I want the boring story first.
Okay.
That way I can get really worked up when you tell me the second one.
When they moved to the house, Myrtle's daughter found the doll. And she loved it. She brought it down and said, "Mom, look what I found. I found this amazing doll." And the thing is, Myrtle loved it too. And they kept it around the house. I don't know what the father's opinion was, but from what I've heard, didn't like the doll. After this, there was some minor hauntings. Steps, voices, giggling continued. These people weren't attached to the Otto family at all, so they're reporting it too. And they would have guests over, and they would report these as well. They have people stay at their house, and they would say these sounds happen as well. And then if people stayed up too late, they would see a 3.5-foot object running around the house in the dark. Just a flash of white. Almost like it matched Robert's sailor suit. One contractor worked on this house, went in, saw Robert apparently move, quit the job, and never worked for them again.
I'd probably do the same thing.
Robert's got a bit of a reputation now in this area. People know about Robert. As far as we know, it was pretty minor, and Robert liked the daughter, and nothing extreme happened with it. Until the 1980s. The Reuters wanted to move, and they found a new home in the same town, just a bit smaller. So they moved. But they couldn't move without their beloved Robert. Robert did not want to move. When they moved to the new house, the hauntings began to get extreme. Furniture was apparently moving all around the house. The loud bangs were continuing. Robert was starting to move more. At some point, Myrtle's husband died. And Myrtle's daughter moved out in the early 90s. And then in one night, in August of 1994, something happened. We don't know what. I'll tell you why. Apparently, Myrtle was in her bedroom, where Robert was as well. She went to get herself some water, and something closed the door. She tried to open it, but nothing was working. The door wasn't locked. There was a force holding it, and the only thing in that room with her was Robert. Myrtle never got into what happened that night. She never told anyone, and she took it to her grave. The next morning, she brought it to the museum and dropped it off as a donation. And we know this is true. August 19th, 1994, this happened.
Did Robert tell the museum staff that story then?
She said that something happened. She doesn't want the doll. She was terrified. And they asked her what happened. She wouldn't tell. 3 months after this, sorry?
I was just going to ask if the Robert was still called doll. I was going to ask if the doll was still called Robert or if it had a new name at this point.
Doll was still called Robert.
Did it have like a name tag or something?
I don't know if it had a name tag or allegedly Robert liked the name Robert. And maybe he didn't stop talking. 3 months after this, Myrtle died. The reason for her death is still unknown to this day. It was never released. Now here's a more extreme story.
Perfect. Yawn. Snorefest. Let's get to this one.
Allegedly,
As long as this one's alleged.
allegedly-ish, there was an extreme haunting. But when Robert moved, Robert started his move by strangling the daughter. The parents heard a bang, a crash from the bedroom, just like the other story, opened it up and found Robert on top of their daughter, strangling her. The husband apparently ripped Robert from his daughter and threw him across the room. They grabbed Robert and stored him away in a trunk in the attic. Not long after this, the husband was found dead in his car, with no explanation as to how he died. Slowly over the years, hauntings got more extreme, and Myrtle learned to live with it. Robert would torment this family, wanting to go back home with his old owner in his old home. And the final night, in that unknown night that happened in August of 1994, that's when Myrtle had enough and gave him away to a museum. So, have your pick.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Do I have to pick one or?
Well, the first one's more feasible.
Yeah.
But he didn't like, either way, he didn't want the move. He didn't like the move.
No, Robert doesn't seem to like a lot of stuff.
No, but he likes Gene. Myrtle donated Robert to the East Martello Museum.
And sorry, what year was this? This was the 90s?
This was August 19th, 1994.
1994.
Yes.
That's the same year that it rained goo in Washington.
Yes. Actually, the Oakville happened a week before.
Oh.
Yeah. So
wonder if they're related.
Probably not.
Hopefully not.
No, I don't think so. You know what? I shouldn't doubt you. You somehow attached the Frogman to MK Ultra. So I believe you could do anything. How is the Oakville Blobs related to Robert the Doll, James?
Well, what you didn't read about was that Robert the Doll, with all of his psychic powers, actually helped create the CIA. And it was his idea to put gelatin and pathogens in the sky via cloud seeding and made it rain goo in Washington.
I'm going to need papers to show me that Robert was there when J. Edgar Hoover started the CIA. If you take evidence as serious as you do, I got to take evidence serious too. I need the paperwork.
I mean, give me a few days. I'm sure I could whip something up.
I'm waiting.
I'll get the photo.
Just a bad Photoshop Robert the Doll and J. Edgar Hoover at the White House. This is our Congress. We got J. Edgar Hoover, Robert the Doll, Grimace, John Stamos.
And somehow still Nancy Pelosi. Tic tac toe. A winner.
Robert was donated to the East Martello Museum. And the reason that this is important and strange is this is where Gene used to work. Gene was actually a big part of putting this museum together. He was the one who helped put together the galleries, and lots of his artwork is displayed in this museum. And somehow, this fueled Robert's energy. As soon as Robert was donated to the museum workers did not think much of Robert. They thought he was just another creepy doll with a few legends around him. Oh, how wrong they were. They stored him in the back room, shoved him away. Big mistake. Robert doesn't like that.
No, he does not.
Here's the thing, is they would go get Robert and bring him out for people if they requested it. But things started happening around the museum. More haunted stuff, things floating, footsteps, giggling.
Anything breaking?
Things breaking, things getting thrown. Robert doesn't like it. People would go into the back rooms and the entire rooms would be swapped around. All the objects would be in different shelves.
A couple of my coworkers did that to my tool cart at work when I went on vacation.
Isn't that fun?
No, I like my things where they are. And they were backwards.
I feel that.
The left drawer was in the right drawer. The right drawer was in the left drawer. The lock on my cart was picked. I went, good one, guys, and I still haven't swapped it back. It's been months now.
I guess this is life now.
It's the new normal. Getting used to it, but it's the new normal.
People also claimed that at night, they saw a strange 3-foot-tall figure, like a flash of white, running around the museum. At this point, the museum staff was done with Robert. People actually would request to see Robert, and the museum staff would refuse them and tell them to reschedule when they weren't working, because they didn't want to go near him. People claimed at night Robert was coming alive. So they decided maybe Robert needs his own exhibit. He's getting pretty popular. The internet just started coming out. Maybe we should give him one. And he seems to want to. He's running amok all around our museum. So people started working on a special exhibit for Robert. And lots of people refused. They didn't want to get anywhere near the doll, bad juju, and they thought he was going to come alive and do something. They actually got one of the workers who didn't believe in any of it to do it. So she was in charge of setting up the exhibit. She never experienced anything. She wasn't afraid. The next morning, after she was putting the finishing touches on the exhibit, people came to the museum to find her bike locked up out front. So everyone was like, she must have stayed late. She's put an all-star performance on this exhibit, getting it ready. But when they went inside, she was nowhere to be found. She actually came into work late. Apparently, Robert did something that frightened her so much that she ran from the museum and sprinted to her house and didn't want to mess with the bike lock. So she just ran home. And she was done working with Robert. Luckily, the exhibit was done. And we had Robert in a nice glass case right in the middle of the museum.
Perfect. Finally, lock that guy up.
But it did not stop the strange things from happening. Apparently, night workers would see Robert in different poses inside the case, moving around, looking in different directions, but there's no way in the case. And if there's only one or two guys working, they wouldn't be doing that. You're not allowed to touch any of that crap. But one of the more amazing stories is a bunch of late night workers were getting everything completely closed. And they locked all the doors and they turned off all the lights and they all left at the same time. And as they were leaving, all the lights in the museum turned on at once.
All the lights turning on?
Yes,
I was kind of thinking about how electricity works as an electrician.
you would know.
The light switch is a switch that breaks the circuit.
Yeah.
And if you don't flick that switch, that circuit's not completed and those lights are not turning on.
So all the light switches had to be turned on at once.
Yes.
And I actually know a guy who experienced that in a school where we live, because he is one of the maintenance workers for the schools around the municipal districts. And he experienced the exact same thing, where he locked up a whole school, turned around, and all the lights turned on at once. But his was a little more dramatic. Apparently, they would like turn on, off, on, off, on, off.
I guess in bigger situations, they don't necessarily have to be physical switches like you'd have in a house. They could be different styles of things. But
Yes, this one was the physical switches,
Yeah.
though. That's why it's strange. So someone had to flick all the switches all at once on, and that was impossible. People started visiting the museum, advertising. The world's most haunted doll is here. So people came all around trying to get a picture of Robert. But there's an issue. Everybody who was taking pictures of Robert, their cameras would all of a sudden stop working. The pictures of Robert were blurry or pitch black. Some people would take pictures of Robert and they would say they took one or two. And when they got the photos developed, the entire roll of their camera was Robert, some of which from different point of views that they weren't standing in. This wasn't where it ended, though. People started suffering great misfortune. Anyone who encountered Robert. People started getting cancer who knew Robert. People started dying who made fun of Robert. Flights were missed. People lost their homes, their cars. People lost their jobs. People who had really good lives all went downhill almost immediately after encountering Robert. Very quickly, the museum realized Robert did not like getting disrespected. So they have rules when you encounter Robert. Would you like to hear those rules?
please,
Here are the rules.
I don't just want to know the rules. I need to know the rules in case I ever encounter Robert.
Here are the rules. Number 1, be respectful. Robert loves courteousness. He loves manners. You have to walk in, say, "Hello, Robert." Introduce yourself and where you are from. Remember all your please and thank yous, or Robert will not like that. Number 2, you must ask permission to take a photo. Do not take his picture without asking for consent first. Anyone who does that has suffered great misfortune. Rule number 3, do not touch him. It is said that Robert does not like to be touched, and attempting to do so can cause malfunctions with electronic devices. But this also includes the glass case that he is in. Do not touch it. Number 4, when you leave, say goodbye to Robert and thank him for letting you take a picture of him. If you follow all these things, you'll be fine. But if you don't, the consequences could be and will be dire. There's also a 5th rule. Don't give him drugs. And this is because people had tried to gift Robert joints
Hell yeah.
and candy and money.
Is this a Robert rule or just a museum rule?
Well, this is a museum rule because this is what people have done.
Does Robert not like drugs?
Apparently, Robert doesn't mind some gifts. Some people have given him gifts.
How forward thinking of him being from the early 1900s.
Well, here's the thing, is the reason people have offered him drugs is because behind Robert, I don't know if you noticed in that photo I showed you, there's letters all over the wall. That is from all the people that disrespected him. Some people still do not respect the rules of Robert. And they go in and they fuck around with him and they find out. The museum gets 2 to 5 letters a day for Robert. And they stick them all behind him. They have over 10,000 letters and counting to Robert since the early 2000s. Would you like me to read some of the letters?
Can you read all of them? Please?
I can, actually. They have them on their website. They have the picture of the writing.
Yeah, go nuts then. 10,000.
Dear Robert, I accidentally took a footage of you. I'm so sorry. I should have asked permission. I will delete the video ASAP. I hope you can forgive me. Gavin. I hope my visit didn't upset you, as it was never meant to be. Since my visit to Key West, I have experienced horrible events. I just hope they aren't connected in any way by my visit. If they are, please accept my humblest apologies for anything that I have offended you during my time there. Tracy. Dear Robert, I just wanted to apologize for taking a photo before I asked permission. I must have not heard the instructions correctly before I photographed you. Since our meeting, I have suffered a series of heartbreaking misfortune. Please forgive me. Again, please accept my sincere apologies, and if you see fit to forgive and end the bad luck, I would appreciate it, as would my family. Thank you, your friend and admirer, James. He even drew Robert in the corner.
Admirer.
He even drew Robert in the corner as a, please help me.
Dear Robert, about 11 years ago I visited you and I made the worst mistake of my life. I thought it would be funny to take your picture without your permission. Boy, was I wrong. So much bad has happened in my life, and I know it's because I disrespected you, and I'm so sorry I did that. I really hope you can forgive me, Robert. Sincerely, Andrea. P.S. I saw you on Zach Baggins' show. You were great.
He apparently likes being called handsome too. People do bring that up a lot. Dear Robert, I'm sorry my daughter took a video of you. She was trying to be polite, but I think it still may have offended you. That night she threw up for no reason, and a disc in my neck slipped out. It has been causing me pain for weeks now. Please accept our apologies, and if you are the cause of my pain, please consider lifting this curse. In all sincerity, Laura and Carolyn.
Damn.
They continue.
I believe you.
But people literally will say, like, I went to you, I made fun of you. They will plead for their lives. There's one message where a guy literally said, my life was going great. I made fun of you once and took a photo without your permission. I got sick. I got injured at work. I lost my job. I lost my house. I lost my car. My dog got sick. Like, there's lots of people just go down the list of these terrible things that happen to them after they encounter Robert. What do you think about all these letters? There's over 10,000. So much so they had to take a whole bunch off the wall because they couldn't fit any more in the exhibit.
Seems like the trendy thing to do after visiting.
It does. There's probably some cases of people
do
who
you
just want it on
think
the wall.
If you visited Robert and there was any sort of misfortune in your life soon afterwards, that you would write a letter?
100%. To quote Michael Scott, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. And I don't want to mess with Robert. And honestly, I told you at the beginning, I was scared to do this one. And I'm going to be asking for forgiveness at the end of it.
Do you think there might be like a bit of confirmation bias type thing going on with Robert?
Where people like experience things after and then point it at Robert?
Yeah, like stuff goes wrong in people's lives every day.
It does.
I'm sure something unfortunate happened to you today. Your dog just ripped its nail off.
It did. As we were recording. Yes. No, things do happen. And sometimes they're less extreme. Sometimes it's literally someone going like, I missed my flight after I saw you. I'm sorry. There was like a kid who's like, I'm 11 and you have no idea what my life's become. Which I thought was kind of funny. So there are things, I think there's like some confirmation bias, even sometimes where people do send a letter like just wanting to be on the wall, maybe. That could be a thing. But people do experience bad luck when encountering Robert. Two people we've brought up before, Sam and Colby, famous YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
They did an investigation on Robert the doll. And I watched it, and it was good. It was entertaining. But I did see them having a bit too much fun with Robert. Like, they chose to take pictures with Robert with flash without permission just to see what would happen. They also went to Robert's old house, and it's still haunted to this day. And they got some pretty cool responses and stuff in that house. Would you like to see that?
Who owns the house now?
A family owned it and made it like a bed and breakfast tourism type of thing, because it's a well-known house in the area.
Yeah.
So this video, they go into Anne's old room. They're trying to contact her because allegedly she kind of is the guard of the house. She did not like Robert. And another rumor about Robert is he's not necessarily one spirit, but he is a gateway of several spirits. He's almost like a conduit to the other side that brings them back and forth. So this
Spirits that hate vases.
spirits that hate vases and disrespect, and then disrespect everyone who disrespects them.
What a vicious cycle.
And we're in your room. We set up a bunch of different pieces of equipment so that we can talk to you. If you are here, can you give us a clear and obvious sign? You walk up to any three the objects here on the bed, on the stool, or by the door, and we'll know you're here.
That's it.
Yes. Yes. No. Yes again.
3 yes.
Dude, that's
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
Does that mean there's 3 spirits, or she's just confirming that she's here 3 times?
If this is just Anne, can you say yes? If there's
Yes, yeah, it's just Anne.
No
Yes.
way.
Okay, whoa. It said that you're here to protect this house, specifically from Robert. Is that true?
No.
No.
That goes with the theory of what David was saying.
There's multiple spirits.
Yes!
Oh my god!
What?
Wait, so let's explain
What did you say?
that. There's a theory that there's multiple spirits attached to Robert.
Yes!
Yes!
The theory is that Robert is a portal, and it's not just the spirit of Jean or Robert, but there's shadow figures attached. There's spirits that come through.
Yes!
This is just like, yep, keep going.
Shadow figures that will like curse or carry out the curses on people who disrespect Robert. Just don't yes.
Yes.
Anne, is that true? Do you believe that there can be multiple spirits in one doll? Is he a form of a vessel?
Or maybe it's not true, and maybe there's just a couple of spirits attached to Robert. Is that true?
It goes on and on. They do find more responses that keep going. So they did an investigation on the house, on Robert. Again, entertaining, but they get pretty disrespectful with Robert.
Mm-hmm.
And I could show you that too if you want, but
That's okay. I think I get the gist.
you have to just like that in front of Robert, but more laughing
Yeah.
and giggling. So Robert didn't like that.
Robert, if you're really a bad boy, knock 3 times.
Here's the thing. Within a month after this, Colby got testicular cancer. And Sam went through a terrible breakup with a long-term girlfriend that was apparently like a sure thing that they were forever together. Almost immediately, a bunch of stuff started happening in their lives that actually caused them a lot of misfortune. And I believe they had to apologize to Robert as well. And I got one more famous encounter for you. But first, I have video of allegedly Robert moving.
I was hoping you were going to say a word from our sponsors.
No, fuck no. They don't like us. No one likes us.
Please, Red Bull, I'll do anything. I'll jump off the roof.
You will. James is a capitalist at the highest definition. Okay. So allegedly this is a video of Robert pushing a toy ball off his case.
Robert, please forgive me. Robert, I'm sorry. Robert, please remove the curse from my family. He's received over 1,000 letters.
He doesn't like you talking
Did
about
you get that? Did you record
I think
that?
I did.
Oh my god.
Why was there a round ball on top of the glass case?
They placed it there for him to affect.
Hmm.
They put it there. They put a lot of things in ghost investigations for the ghost to manifest. things like balls, things like EMF detectors, things like a bunch of those lights and stuff that I showed you. And they try to make it easy for the ghost because it takes a lot of energy to manifest the energy to do that as a ghost. Bring yourself to the physical plane. I do think it's a little strange how it's pretty still and then all of a sudden just falls off. There was no sense of it rolling or anything from the top. I know you're going to say, it's a ball, Jake, you fucking idiot. And someone could
They are known to roll sometimes.
They do roll.
Especially on a flat surface.
Yes. Okay. Well, there's also this video of Robert moving.
I think that's the cameraman moving.
I don't think he moved at all. But lots of people bring this up.
The cameraman couldn't hold his phone still, and that's the video.
Yes. No,
all 3 seconds of it.
Lots of people say that it's the leg moving. It's an optical illusion. The leg is not moving. It's just the guy dipping his camera. However, there is this video.
Uh-oh.
And as of this day, people haven't been able to debunk it, at least fully. This is a video of Robert allegedly blinking. And apparently, the man filming it did not notice until he got home and posted the video.
One thing I did notice is that first photo you showed me, the dog looked really cute, but every other thing after that, the dog looked just as terrifying, if not more scary than Robert. The toy dog in Robert's hands.
Oh, yeah. So I was going to mention why it might look more scary. Apparently that thing gets thrown around. If Robert gets mad at something, he'll throw it against the glass.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently he doesn't like you, he will throw it. So, but apparently he also really likes it. So, but people treat it like it's a real thing to deal with.
Do you think the doll actually blinked there?
I'm unsure. I can't prove it didn't. Because part of me is...
You weren't there. Say it.
I wasn't there.
Woo! Let's go!
But I do think it's an interesting video. So far, I haven't seen anyone debunk. I've seen people throw out theories, but I haven't seen anyone fully debunk it yet. So it's creepy. It's something. But I have one more video for you.
And then I have a speculative question for you to follow up.
Okay.
Not necessarily related. I have not seen the video yet.
This is Sam and Colby talking about their experience with Robert the doll.
Take pictures of this doll. It literally says it gives you cancer. And we did that. And then I got cancer that month or the next month.
Yeah,
but
what are the chances of that? Did you take a picture with it too, or
Yeah,
you both? Okay,
yeah. Again, it's not it, but like also, what are the odds? You know? It's
the reason I know it's not Robert, I hope, is like I felt a little bit of pain like before going to that trip.
Okay,
but that doesn't mean like any other haunted place. Like there's so many stories of. So
that's what makes it so interesting.
Scary.
You can't ever pinpoint one specific thing as the ultimate reason or confirmation, and that's what makes you be able to keep going.
And also, I think I would go insane if I was just like Robert the doll gave me cancer. Like I would really, honestly, want to like quit.
Interesting stuff. A lot of people encounter misfortune with Robert.
Yeah, he also, in more general sense, said people get sick or diseases and stuff from haunted places.
There is a lot of times people get some sort of experience like that, yeah.
Kind of part of me is just thinking, not every case, but like I'm sure a lot of time you go to a haunted place, it's going to be maybe a bit of a rundown, moldy dump in some cases.
Yes.
And in those some cases, maybe some people will get sick from those haunted, disgusting places.
So
dusty, dirty, wet, maybe.
Okay. The stereotype of the dusty, dirty, wet, haunted house, pretty unrealistic. Most haunted places are historical sites, and they're usually upkept pretty well. Like Queen Mary, it's upkept pretty well because it's a hotel.
But people also aren't getting sick from every single haunted spot they go to.
It's not every haunted spot.
No, I know, that's what I mean.
But they do encounter things that people do feel ill afterwards. There has been other things. I can't run it down because I don't have the facts in front of me, and I don't want to give you anything that's incorrect. But it has happened. And it has happened with other similar objects like Robert, like the Dybbuk box and other strange cursed items. Another weird thing is people who tend to work on projects about Robert face a lot of difficulty. There was a writer named Dave Sloan who was writing a book on Robert. He was trying to type it all out. He lost 4 hard drives of material. 4 hard drives crashed on him. Every single one crashed, and every single one, the backup of his manuscript for his book disappeared off the hard drive. He thought it was strange. He never experienced all his hard drives going before, so he went to a medium, and the medium told him that he needed to buy a fireproof safe and put backup hard drives in it and an extra manuscript in it, or else Robert will give you cancer. I don't know much about this David Sloan guy. He also claims that as he's working on it, he woke up levitating off his bed, and his wife saw him levitating off his bed, and he was thrown to the floor. He seems like a strong believer. I don't know him. Normally, I kind of know some of these guys. If it was like an alien or Bigfoot realm, I could tell you more about the guy, but I don't know much about him. So he had hard experiences with that. But other podcasts have bad experiences when they try to investigate Robert as well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It was a good run, I guess.
Mostly technical difficulties. Lots of guys, their podcasts shut off halfway through and they have to redo the episode.
Mhm.
A lot of people will say after the episode, this is a hard one. I don't know what it is, but I've had technical difficulties for the first time. And don't freak out. But I have never had this computer stutter on me before. It's been stuttering the entire time we've done this podcast.
Mine's been fine. Mine froze last episode. It's been fine for this one.
But here's the weird part, is the last episode was supposed to be Robert.
And you disrespected him by not talking about it. And my laptop, or not the laptop, but the program froze.
The program did freeze.
We lost 4.5 minutes of audio.
We did. Every time we've investigated some sort of curse thing or come close to it, something has happened on the podcast. The only time we've had technical difficulties is when we've investigated weird, ghosty, demon shit.
Okay, perfect. This kind of leads me into that question I had.
Okay.
You believe the Queen Mary was haunted?
I do.
Do you think if Robert was placed on the Queen Mary, it would join forces with the ghosts there, or it would fight against them?
That is an interesting question.
I'm sure no one's ever asked it.
I don't know if it would cause the ghosts to fight necessarily, but I think maybe it would give opportunity for him to bring in more. A lot of people point towards that he could be a portal or conduit to the other
I
side.
was kind of thinking maybe he'd like suck up the ghosts and be like a super haunted doll or something.
No, because it's not necessarily, because the house that he was in is still haunted.
Right.
The museum, when he entered it,
Mhm.
got way more haunted. And now they have about 42 spirits in their museum. The Queen Mary had over 250.
Yeah.
I know you're laughing, you think this is ridiculous, but I'm just...
Well, you said about 42 spirits. It's a funny thing to say.
Well, the reason I say about 42
Yeah.
is because I don't know how many Robert brought in. Like, they say 42 spirits. I don't know if there's more, there's less, or if they don't have a confirmed number or what, but they say 42. But I think Robert could be a portal for malevolent entities, possibly. I don't know how, but lots of spirits do like to find something that they can manifest their energy through, and something that looks more humanoid, like a doll, is a common thing they do because they want to get back to that form. Dolls are easy to possess because they don't fight back like human bodies do. I know this is probably the craziest thing I've told you.
Probably not, actually.
Yeah, never mind. It probably isn't. I told you about the Miami Bay Mall aliens. That's when you looked at me like you were disappointed.
That's one that I want to know more about. We'll get there one day.
We'll get there.
We just need the FOI to go through first.
So anyway, I think if you put him on the Queen Mary, he'd probably open something to cause more. Because everywhere he's gone so far, he's caused more problems. He's opened the door for entities.
Where was the Queen Mary docked again?
California.
Do you think we could start a petition and a fundraiser to get Robert onto that boat?
No. I don't think we should be messing with Robert. I'm sorry. I
think that would be the ultimate test.
Okay, I know you're being a bit tongue-in-cheek here. I'm legitimately freaked out about Robert. And I had this pod earlier last week. One of the reasons I didn't do it is because, one, I wasn't ready. I wanted to get some more stuff. Two, because I'm genuinely afraid to do it. But I wanted to show you it because it's a cool story. I want Robert to stay in that case, respectively.
Mhm.
I want him to have a good time at the museum that his former owner and best friend created.
That's where he was meant to be.
Where he's meant to be. And I want him to stay there and be happy and be the handsome, kind, good doll he is and stay there.
I take it he's still there to this day.
He is still there to this day. We can go visit him right now.
Maybe not right now.
No, but if you wanted to, if you ever go to Florida, we could do it. You can go say hi to Robert.
It wouldn't be it wouldn't be at the top of my list of things to do in Florida, but yeah, maybe one day. Wherever in the neighborhood, I guess.
Forever in the other side
Wherever
of the
in
country.
Key West, Florida.
We know where to go. Well, James, I did tell you we had one more famous encounter.
You did, that's right. Charlie Sheen.
No.
Oh.
Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne and his son Jack went to visit Robert the Doll in 2019. They were doing a TV show of like Ozzy and Jack exploring the world sort of thing. Now, Ozzy Osbourne, even though he's the Prince of Darkness, openly doesn't really believe in any of this stuff. A famous story is Black Sabbath was originally called Earth, and they did the Black Sabbath dark theme because they thought it was cool. But after they started getting big, people started inviting them out to like sacrifices and like cult stuff out in the England like foothills. And Ozzy Osbourne's reaction to that was, quote, "That bloody shit is real." He had no idea that black magic was an actual thing people actually practiced. So when he met Robert the Doll, same sort of thing. Ozzy was fucking around. Kind of what he's known for.
Yeah.
Now, Jack was trying to tell him, like, hey, you gotta respect Robert. Jack was saying hello to Robert, introducing himself. Ozzy was kind of doing his meander. Ozzy actually farted on Robert. It's on film. Here's the weird thing. This was in 2019. Right after this, Ozzy got diagnosed with Parkinson's. Ozzy eventually succumbed to this illness in 2025. The same illness that killed Gene Otto. And Ozzy, till the day he died, blamed that fucking doll.
How poetic. Some preemptive words to the wise, I guess. Don't fart on the doll.
Don't fart on the doll. But Ozzy didn't listen. He fucked around, and he found out. You can piss on the Alamo, you can bite the head off a bat, but you can't fart on Robert the Doll.
That's the line.
Get that on a shirt. So, with that, James, that's what I have for you on Robert the Doll.
That was a lot. That was a lot more than I would have expected.
You can go online and you can search more of the letters. They're all over the place. The actual like screen caps of them. Suffer More Encounters with Robert the Doll. David Sloan put out a book about Robert the Doll if you want to have a good read. I'm curious, what are you thinking about Robert the Doll today? The things that I've shown you. Do you have any questions? Anything about that?
Kind of wondering about the authenticity of some of these stories pre-museum, especially when you go back to 1909 when he first made his appearance. It's like, who's telling who what, game of telephone down the line, if anything, it's not like it's going to be a well-documented thing. So I'm like, all right, a lot of these are probably, especially when you have like 2 or 3 versions of different stories with different people. It's like, okay, well, are all these stories or some of these stories or?
I whittled it down to the story that is like not down to earth, but the one that's more consistently told with timelines that match up.
Yeah, and I could only imagine there's probably more stories that you haven't told me as well.
Yeah, lots of it goes into the black magic and the Haitian voodoo, but that's just legend. That's pretty much been debunked.
Yeah. And like I said earlier too, a lot of stuff seems like it could just be a form of confirmation bias. Like, oh, I took a photo with the doll. Oh, a month later I got testicle cancer. I wonder if that's related. I'm also wondering if that's related. Probably not.
You never know.
I mean, unfalsifiable, I suppose.
You know, the weird thing, the part that I find strange
Mm-hmm.
is the Ozzy Osbourne one. I'm a huge fan of Ozzy Osbourne.
Yep. You played just his music for like a couple weeks after he died.
A full month. I think basically the whole summer I played just Ozzy Osbourne. Brooke even got tired of it. The Parkinson's thing was something I tied together. Other people probably have, but it never came up about Robert until I found a clip on YouTube. There was like a funny clip. Look, Ozzy Osbourne with Robert the Doll. And so I watched it. And then I looked at the date when it was released, when it happened. I looked up when he got Parkinson's and all that and his health issues. And he started there was a lot more health issues that happened to Ozzy, like within the next year. He had a lot of things happen to him right after he disrespected Robert the Doll. And the thing is that the amount of disrespect that we see given Robert the Doll is just not asking to take his photo. Ozzy farted on him and he got the same disease that killed his owner, which I think is insane.
Do you think Robert gave Eugene Parkinson's?
I don't think so. I think Eugene just got Parkinson's. But the activity of Robert allegedly got stronger as he went to the museum. Part of that could be it's a museum and they want to sell tickets. The other part of that is that it's a museum literally built by his owner.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of glad you brought that up because something I've been thinking along this whole time too is comes along with a lot of stories and a thing at a museum is money.
Yes.
Tourism, attracting people. Wow, look at all these fantastic stories about this doll. It has its own exhibit you can come look at. You can send it letters.
Yeah, there is a lot about that with Robert the doll. But that museum is haunted itself, and they got some creepy photos from different things in that museum. I didn't want to veer too much away from Robert, but that museum's got some creepy photos. And actually, I'm going to show you one photo. One photo. So this is from the same Sam and Colby episode. And they were actually there with David Sloan, the writer. And he was investigating a part of the museum that used to be, I think, where they would like keep the bodies or something. I don't remember. But
excuse me? The part of the museum where they would keep the bodies?
Well, it wasn't always a museum. There was like there was a hospital for yellow fever at one point.
Okay, well that's probably a good thing to mention ahead of the bodies.
That is important. So they were doing a thing called mirror scrying. Have you ever heard of mirror scrying?
Is that like when you say Bloody Mary 3 times?
Yes, that's mirror scrying.
Oh.
It's an actual thing people do, try to conjure spirits. And sometimes things do conjure. And what they did is that you basically try to conjure spirit, you do the Bloody Mary thing, essentially try to call upon who you want, and then you take a picture in the mirror, and then it will appear in the photograph. So here's some of the photos that they caught when they were mirror scrying.
It's Michael Jackson.
What?
I said it's Michael Jackson. They got him.
So that's mirror scrying.
It looks silly.
It looks silly. Don't try it at home.
Oh, I did back in the day. You remember when I told you about that click slide thing?
Yeah.
We also did Bloody Mary in the bathroom.
I would never do Bloody Mary.
We didn't have camera phones though.
I would never do Bloody Mary. I wouldn't do any mirror scrying. I don't want to conjure nothing. Let the spirits do what they need to do. So there is some stuff there that they found that is kind of weird. That weird child-like scry that they saw, the weird child-looking photo. That's weird.
Yeah.
That was in the mirror.
It's a photograph in the dark in a mirror. It's like, can't really make anything out.
Did you not see the kid shape in that first one? There was something.
The first one was a big printout that Buddy brought with him
of the mirror, and then that weird creepy hand in the other one.
I didn't see any hand.
It was up in the top. It looked like a fucking alien face hugger. Every time we do a ghost one, you look so disappointed in me.
I mean, same sort of thing like I mentioned before. It's creepy as hell to think about.
Yeah.
But that's about it for me. I shake off the jitters and then I get back to, snap back to reality.
I think something happened. And the reason that I think something happened is because a family completely unattached from the Ottos experienced things as well. That's where I'm like, I think something happened. And the reason that I think there's more credence to that is because, have you heard of the Amityville haunting?
Don't believe so.
It's a very famous haunting from back in the 70s.
Did Eminem make a song about it?
I don't know.
Amityville, featuring Bizarre, song by Eminem.
Yeah, then you probably did.
I don't know the song nor the haunting.
So here's the story, is a young man killed his entire family with a rifle. There's a massacre, and he claimed that the spirits in the house told him to do it. It's really dark, really brutal. I think he was put to death.
Not unreasonable.
Not unreasonable. But a lot of people were like, oh, I think it's haunted. And so the next family went in there, but the thing is that this was national news. So when this next family went in there, they started claiming they heard the voices. They heard the guy that killed his family. They heard the family. Like, they claimed all these amazing things. They got a book deal. They got a movie deal. And then it all came out that they're fucking liars, and we figured out how. We could attach all the lines, and it came out like years later that they were all lying about the whole thing. That I'm suspicious of because they knew going into it, they were buying it cheap because it was a murder house, that they could make money off the haunting because it was already alleged to be haunted. No ghost investigators who have ever gone to the Amityville house have ever found anything. The family that lives there now has never experienced anything. Nothing. However, the rooters, completely not attached to the Ottos, found the doll, had the same experiences happening, not knowing any of the history of Robert the Doll.
What if when the Ottos put the doll away, they left a note? They kind of described it.
So I believe what Annette did is she put him in a trunk in the attic,
Yeah.
and she put it in like the fine print of the contract that the doll is a part of the sale. And they found the doll after the fact because she didn't want it. And she actually died like a year after. So I think there is something to that Robert was doing something. The doll still like creeps me out. It looks weird. It doesn't look right.
Yeah, most dolls don't.
Respectively, it looks scary, but in a very strong, intimidating way. I'm not being bullshitting here. I'm trying to respect Robert. It
Do you
freaks me
think
out.
Robert can hear you?
There's literally there was a bunch of kids that went to the museum.
Yep.
And they fucked around with Robert, and the next day their boat sank. And they came back the next day to that museum and apologized to Robert in person. So things happen if you fuck with Robert. And there's a lot of things, again, could be confirmation bias, could be coincidence, but a lot of things seem to happen. And even if 1,000 of those letters are legitimate and the other 9,000 are fake, 1,000 legitimate letters is still a lot. Like, I think there's something to it. I think that Robert holds something. He's a gate to something.
Well, I definitely do agree that dolls are creepy as hell.
Dolls are creepy as hell.
Just because I'm not a ghost or haunting person doesn't mean I don't get creeped out by shit.
I don't have much else proof for you other than the letters, the stories, and the few videos I showed you.
Well, conclusion time.
Conclusion time. So today, James, on the case of Robert the Doll, our first case of spooky season. On a scale from 1 to 5. 1. I'm an idiot. And Robert is very, very smart and handsome. 2. You're skeptical. 3. You're on the fence. 4. There's something strange. 5. Robert the Doll is a possessed doll. Where are you coming down to today?
Jake, I think you did a great job today with these stories. I think you gave me a lot of even different options with some stories. It could be this, or it could be this wilder one, or it could be voodoo. You gave me lots of stuff to go off of. It was fun. I liked it. And I had a good time listening to the stories.
Okay.
I think today, here, buddy, let's go back real quick.
Look at the flowers, Jake.
Look at the flowers, Jake. I think today I'm going to go with a 1.5.
Oh, fuck. That's your lowest rating yet.
Is it?
Robert got lower than the Frogman.
Did it really?
Yeah, that's your lowest one. Oh my gosh. We got you below the 2 on Robert. You might die.
Well, I hope not.
You have balls of steel, my friend.
I think a lot of it's just stories. I think a lot of it's just drumming up business for the museum. I don't believe it.
It's your funeral.
Hey.
I'll make a great speech for you, I promise.
Well, you'll have to be the one to tell my boss I'm not coming in. If you release this episode,
yeah,
one of my coworkers could just tell him.
Done. All right.
I'm going to put this on you, Seamus.
I knew that this was going to be a tough one to prove to you. Not only is it a ghost, but it's a possession.
Yeah.
And it's a curse. It's like your trifecta of what you don't believe in. But it's spooky season, and this is
all 3 sides of the bullshit triangle.
But we respect Robert, and we thank him for letting us, or we ask for his forgiveness for any jokes that may have offended him on this podcast. And we hope that we did a good job, and maybe he was at least entertained. We respectfully and humbly thank Robert. Thank you for listening, everybody. I could not get James over the fence. I couldn't even get him skeptical on this sumbitch today.
I was not having it.
I understand. The same vibe I got from James today was the same vibe you get from a disappointed father. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you enjoy what we're doing here, make sure to rate and follow on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, wherever you listen to the podcast. It goes a long way. You can also follow us on all our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for case photos and updates. The link is in the description of every episode. Also, share with your friends. Word of mouth is the best advertisement and it is free. If I missed anything, or if you have any cases that you would like us to look into that I could try to prove to James, our email is darkdosenpod@gmail.com. So with that, James, got any words to the wise?
If your kid or your spouse is messing up the place and breaking vases and blaming it on a doll, maybe get rid of the doll. Maybe don't keep it in the attic. Maybe don't put it in a trunk. Maybe get rid of it. Maybe get some therapy. Maybe make them get some therapy. But do it respectfully. Say, sorry, buddy, but you have to go in the dumpster now.
Do it respectfully. The same way that this podcast respects Robert.
Yeah, respect Robert.
Wise words from a wiser man. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, Robert.